All right then, ladies and gents, welcome to an impromptu watch-along for this first game, because all of a sudden I thought I'm very excited for this and I quite fancied a little watch-along. We'll sit, watch this game together, talk about Hull City related things such as the Trialist, who we now believe is not Ruben Vinagre and is in fact George Cox. So let's see what's going on with this game, shall we? I'll be listening to whatever's going on in my ear, by the way, just so I know what's going on in case I can't tell any of the players and stuff. So here is the Trialist. Harry Vaughan on that left-hand side. It's kicking off now, Tommy. I've seen your comment in chat. Sean McLaughlin now to Andy Smith, of course, spent the last 2 seasons on loan at Grimsby. I will call the Trialist George Cox because it's, well, who we think it is. Why does the stream keep pausing on here? That's frustrating. That's doing my head in. Sean McLaughlin wearing the number 6 at the moment. Obviously, the absence of Tobias Figueiredo now means that number has been freed up. Seri finds McLaughlin. Goes to Andy Smith. I will just say, I will just give a quick reminder of the team as Eastwood launches that long from a through ball. So City's team to start the first half off is Matt Ingram in goal. The back 4 is Louis Coyle, Andy Smith, Sean McLaughlin, and the Trialist at left back. And after that, it's a midfield of Alayar Syed Manesh on the right, Harry Vaughan on the left, Seri and Slater, I believe it is, in the midfield. And then up top, Oscar Estupinian and Liam Delap. Throw in for City. Coyle finds Liam Delap, who goes back to Coyle, who's dispossessed by, I can't really tell who that is for Grimsby. I think it might have been Mo Isa. But City win the ball back and, it goes back to Matt Ingram. Callum, any update as to why Adama isn't playing? I'd assume that injury is just a little bit more serious than they thought and they don't want to take any risks. The Trialist, George Cox, finds McLaughlin to Ingram, Andy Smith, Louis Coyle now. Great ball into Oscar Estupinian, who's fouled on the halfway line by Mo Isa, the former Peterborough man, of course. And the referee decked out all in amber and black today. Amber shirt, black shorts and socks. Gives a free kick actually against Oscar. Why does that keep pausing itself? Why? Stop it now. There we go. Malarkey dispossessed by the Trialist, and Vaughan goes back to the Trialist with a nice little 1-2. Grimsby putting the squeeze on Ingram. Ingram gets it off nicely to Seri to give it to Andy Smith now. Smith and Coyle play a couple of 1-2s before Slater is found in the midfield. Seri to Slater again. Out to the Trialist, George Cox. Vaughan finds McLaughlin, who gets it off to Andy Smith. We're keeping the ball on the deck here so far. Smith to Estupinian. Seri looking to play Liam Delap through. Delap's through. The touch is too heavy for him, and Eastwood, level with the penalty spot, gets down quickly to get there just before Liam Delap and claims the ball nicely. Delap, his pace has been incredible, but the touch was just far too heavy. Great football by City, moving the ball from defence to attack like that. And Delap, when it fell to him, he was onside, but just too far in front of him with the touch, which meant he had to. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but he had to yield, and the keeper beat him to the ball. Oh, Ingram, easy. Ingram doing a bit of skill in his own box and ends up kicking the ball out for a play. Out of play for a throw-in under pressure. As the stream starts to lag a little bit. Why does that keep pausing? That's going to wind me up, guaranteed. Harvey Rodgers in that Grimsby team, formerly of Hull City's academy back in our Premier League years. Let go a good couple of years ago now was Harvey Rodgers. Ball out for a goal kick, and Ingram will pop it down. And give it, in fact, to Andy Smith to take this goal kick. He plays it square to Ingram, who launches the ball long now, looking for Harry Vaughan, who's charging down the left-hand side. He's got... James Fletcher just couldn't see a number there. I'm going to have to get Grimsby's numbers up because this is proving difficult, I will say. Meanwhile, the 21s have just kicked off. Oh, Grimsby, effort blocked. Appeals for handball by the Blundell Park crowd. Cox gets it clear. Vaughan under pressure. Vaughan in a tight spot. He loses possession. Seri recovers. And the ball goes off to Andy Smith. Louis Coyle. Oscar Estupinian dropping deep. He's fouled. Okay. Right, let me just write Grimsby's team down. Ooh, careful, Ingram. Eastwood under pressure by Oscar. Gets it off to Mayer, who just clips the ball off Syed Manesh and out for a throw-in on the touchline side of Blundell Park. Tommy, can I put the score on screen? No, I can't. That's too much graphical. In fact, I might be it. Yeah, you know what? I'll do it. I'm just going to have to keep updating it every time something happens. There we go. Do I think Vinagre will sign now if we're looking at George? Vinagre's done as far as I'm aware. Vinagre's done, so I don't think we've got anything to worry about really at all. Chelsea fan, hello. Not sure why you're on a Grimsby Town versus Hull City streaming pre-season, but good to have you. Good to have you. So we've got go on, Harry. Vaughan on the left-hand side looks to play through George Cox, who puts it in the middle. His cross is intercepted by Grimsby. McLaughlin with the clearance. That's a foul on Harry Vaughan. Sorry, I didn't. I was busy watching what Harry Vaughan was getting fouled there, and then not getting fouled or whatever it was. But with the clearance, McLaughlin played it back towards Vaughan, who was pushed over, and then the ball sat in between his legs on the touchline, and then it went out for a Hull City throw-in. Grimsby have a throw-in now after we tried a routine that didn't quite come off. What am I feeling about Jason Lakilo, Stephen? I don't know anything about him, but the record doesn't scream amazing. But equally, I'm going to reserve judgment because Tan, Ajun, they'll have scouts doing all this stuff, and Liam will know more than I will about his targets. Alayar gets past Glennon. Does he keep it in play? Yes, he does down the right-hand side. Tackled by Vernon, I think that was, and out for a Hull City throw-in, which Louis Coyle is going to take. Coyle looking for an option, hasn't really got one. Waiting for someone to move, but no one's moving for him. This is great stuff, this City. Coyle goes for a long throw towards Syed Manesh. Doesn't quite work, but bounces to Delap. Coyle puts another ball in, which also bounces to Delap before Grimsby get it clear. Coyle retrieves possession, then immediately gives it away to Isa. Space for Grimsby on our left-hand side, but ball is out for a free kick for a foul on Kuri. The number 19 was fouled by, I think it was Oscar coming away. Just have a look at a replay now. No, it wasn't Oscar. It was Liam Delap who just, puts two hands on the back. And, it doesn't... Oh, that's never going to end well, is it? Hi, Kieran. Hope you're doing all right. Now then, Woods. Shut up, Lee. Oh, dear. Is that another free kick for Grimsby? Yes, it is. Grimsby, this free kick is in a bit of a better position, about 25, 30 yards out from goal. It's whipped in, headed clear. It drops to the edge of the area for, I think it was Conte. And that one went into the nearly 1,500 Hull City fans behind that goal. Blazed over. And MJ, welcome from Thailand. Yeah, I'm all right, Lee, mate. How are you? I'm okay. Oscar loses possession for a foul by Seri on Harry Clifton. I'm waiting for some sexy pictures of this third shirt to be loaded up as well. Who's the man of the match so far? After 15 minutes, there isn't really one to choose from, Catherine, I'll be honest. We've just crossed the 16-minute mark and there isn't really one. Is that a foul on Seri? No, it's not. Oscar wins possession. Delap is getting clipped at, with his heels. And he's been brought down in the centre circle. Now, the commentator for Tigers Plus over in Turkey described Liam Delap as a big fella. He was brought down by Conte first, then Curry second, which brought him down. McLaughlin finds Harry Vaughan up against Clifton. He's got Clifton to beat, comes inside and finds Seri, who under pressure goes back to Andy Smith in the centre circle, out wide to Aliyar Sayadmanesh. He's kept that ball in. He plays through Regan Slater. Who can he get there? No, he can't. But it goes out for a corner off. I think that's Mayer, the number 31. Slater's going to take this corner. Slater floated ball in towards Estupinian. It's headed clear. Only to Seri on the edge, who heads it back in. Headed clear by Harvey Rogers. Harry Vaughan heads back to George Cox in the centre circle, who goes back to Ingram, who's ventured out of his penalty area to come and meet the ball. He goes to McLaughlin. McLaughlin back to Ingram. Ingram to Andy Smith now. Smith, McLaughlin, Delap, Cox. McLaughlin looking for Cox, but it's deflected out off. I'm not sure if that was Vernon or not. I think it might have been for a throw-in. Estupinian coming deep. He's been bundled over, and that's a free kick. Thoughts on Aliyar? Should we offload him? Absolutely not. I love Aliyar to pieces. We've got 20... not 20, bloody hell. We've got 12 minutes left until a little break in between the first and second of our quarters today. Reminder that in this game, to get a 120-minute game, it's split into 4 30-minute quarters instead of just having the usual 2 45-minute halves. And by the looks of things, both teams will have 2 11s, which this has just paused again. We'll have 2 11s, which will end up playing an hour each. City substitutes to choose from in this. Well, in the first hour of the game are Timothy Lottatala, Tom Nixon, Jake Leake, and Alfie Taylor, I believe. Adrian was aware of FFP, but we had some wriggle room, and he thought with Shotta he had the manager with bringing these players in that could take us straight up, and it wouldn't matter because then we'd have a lot more room to play within the Premier League. As it turned out, the Championship takes a lot more than that. Where do we need to strengthen? I still think we need another centre-half, although I would very, very, very much like Andy Smith to be our 4th choice in the centre-half position. No Jacob Greaves here as of yet, but he might well be in the second half team. Cox wins the header. It's gathered by Malarkey, who's looking over for Glennon. It's intercepted by Syed Manesh, but Grimsby recover possession. Played a through ball towards Glennon on the overlap, but the play has been brought back for a free kick. Not sure what that decision's all about, but it is. Ball in towards Malarkey. Comfortable save, though, for Matt Ingram. Decked out in pink. Little triangle pass there between Ingram, Seri, McLaughlin. Ball ends up back with Ingram now, who launches it further up, looking for Delap, who's beaten in the air. Ball lifted over by Rose. Clifton has Malarkey on the overlap, but it'll go back towards Conte. Curry into Mayer. Glennon. Mayer, who launches a diagonal ball forward towards Malarkey, whose header looks for Clifton, but it's headed out for a throw-in by George Cox at left back. Yeah, that's definitely not Ruben Vinagre now I've seen a close-up. It's George Cox. 100%. It's George Cox. What about Ingram? Number one, or getting a fresh pair of safe hands? I'd get competition for Ingram, but I'd absolutely have no qualms with Matt Ingram being our number one. He's a more than capable goalkeeper. That team was never going to be good enough to go up. A lot of bad decisions by him last pre-season, now costing us. I wouldn't say they're costing us necessarily. It just... Why is that keep continuing to pause? I wouldn't say they're costing us necessarily. It just means we've got to be quite smart with our negotiations, which for the Championship you need to be. And it's sort of the position we're in has resulted in good trading, like decent, some training wheels, I suppose, for Tan in shrewd negotiation and what you need in the Championship. Ball by Eastwood, looking for Isa, but an offside has been given by the referee. Ingram to McLaughlin. Cox into Estupinian, straight back to Cox, who's fouled by Clifton, and free kick given. Where do you reckon we're going to finish? Impossible question, I know. I'd say top 12, but until the season starts, we have no real idea. That is exactly the case. I do think we will be in the top half, though. Cox with the interception as Grimsby play a through ball, and he gets it clear. Who's going up this year, and where do you think we'll end up? I'm not going to... You can wait until my Championship predictions video for that one. 24 and a half minutes gone in this first quarter. Malarkey on the overlap, whips a ball in, cleared by McLaughlin, out to Clifton on the near side touchline. Rogers back into Clifton. Malarkey on the overlap. He has to beat Cox. He does. He's got to beat Vaughan now as well, who puts a ball in. Header by Rose is claimed by Ingram. Right, at the interval, the first of the intervals, I am going to go and grab myself a couple of drinks because this is thirsty work. By the way, to be clear, this is not the third shirt I'm wearing. It is training gear, and it's very, very nice training gear at that. How many signings are left for us to make, Catherine? Unsure. I'm just trying to see who's on the bench there. The camera's panned, though. Oh, ball over towards Slater. Eastwood, his former Sheffield United colleague, of course, he's out quickly. He's out quickly and claims the ball. His clearance, his kick out of his hands is poor by Eastwood. Oscar couldn't find Delap and Malarkey recovers. Going back to Eastwood, who's under pressure from Delap again. This time his long ball is a bit more successful. And Rose looks to flick on. Handball shout by the crowd at Blundell Park. Ball in, headed clear by Smith. Not clear enough. Clifton. Malarkey. Ball in. Headed clear by McLaughlin. It drops. I think that was to Curry. Yes, it was. And his shot was out for a goal kick. Simon, good to hear from you, mate. The new training gear is stunning. In the flesh, it's absolutely just remarkable. I do have to buy a size large in it, though, which is not what I'd usually go for. Let's just say that. Ingram's long ball, header by Oscar Estupinian. It's cut away to Liam Rossini now, so we can't see what's going on. Delap now. Out to Harry Vaughan. Ball in the middle to Oscar Estupinian, who heads over the top. That was a good chance. That was a really good chance for Oscar Estupinian. Lovely little ball into him by Harry Vaughan. Little chip ball. But Oscar heads over. Still wearing that number 19 in amber numbers, which, by the way, look incredible. And Eastwood will take the goal kick now. 2 minutes left of this first quarter. Seri rises highest to win the header in the midfield. Oscar under pressure. Looks to play through Liam Delap. The ball has a bit too much on it, but Delap with his pace will win the foot race against Harvey Rogers, who tackles Delap and puts the ball out for a throw-in. And to take the throw-in will be George Cox, number 12, the trialist, who throws it to Delap, who gets the ball under control with two Grimsby players around him, gives it straight back to Cox, who tries to whip a ball in, but it's blocked by Clifton, goes back to Vaughan, who rips the ball into Oscar again, who heads over. But this time, the offside flag is up regardless. Ball by Eastwood, sent long towards Rose, who is beaten to the ball in the air by McLaughlin, who heads the ball down to Cox, who finds Delap now. Delap loses control of the ball, and it's out for a Grimsby throwing. Yep, Simon Kappa is very, very small. In terms of, when I tried the home shirt on yesterday, it was good enough. It was enough lengthwise, but it was very, very tight over the shoulders. It was like wearing an Umbro small on me. So I went for a large, which is the equivalent to an Umbro medium. What I'd say. That's how I'm going to say it, but at least a size up. At least a size up, I'd say. Some people on social media have said they've gone for 2. Delap, over to Louis Coyle, who's in a lot of space down the right-hand side. He's got Glennon coming towards him, but he whips a ball in before he reaches it. The cross is headed clear by Harvey Rogers. And he puts it out for a corner. It's a great ball by Coyle in towards Syed Manesh, but Rogers just gets there before the Iranian international corner. Going to be whipped in by Slater. Floated ball again. Syed Manesh flicks on. Doesn't find anybody there. And that is the end of the first quarter at Blundell Park. Grimsby Town 0, Hull City 0 at the end of the first quarter. Right then. Okay, I'm going to go and grab myself a drink very briefly, and then I shall return for the second of our 4 quarters. Back, returned. Oh. Ollie, glad to know you're there, mate. Enjoying yourself? Still quarter time, if you want to call it that, at the moment. City have gone down the tunnel. Grimsby are just staying out on the pitch. Still awaiting the start of the second quarter. I'm not sure how long these breaks are. I will be honest. The referee has re-emerged from the tunnel. Hull City's physio has returned now. Out of the tunnel comes Xavier Simons. Racinia's out. Brandon Fleming on the bench. Jake Leake, Tom Nixon, Alfie Taylor, Will Jarvis, David Robson there. Vaughan Coville stood by the side. Interesting to note that Vaughan Coville hasn't played a minute of pre-season yet. Is that still injury rehab maybe, or a selection thing? I don't know. Ryan Wood's doing some stretching down by the bench. And here come Hull City back onto the pitch for the second quarter. They're swapping, well, they're changing ends. Interesting. Very, very interesting. As that trialist we can now see, yeah, is absolutely not Ruben Vinagre. It is definitely George Cox. That is, well, that's more or less a certainty now. We know that is not at all Ruben Vinagre. James Fletcher's just called Tom Nixon Tyler Nixon, and that's frustrating me a little bit. I will be honest. Right, apologies, we are still just waiting. We are about to get underway again. Oscar Estupinian will get us started this time around. About a 5-minute break it's turned out to be between the quarters. And at half-time, there will be a full 15 minutes underway. Seri trying to launch the ball long in a very unorthodox fashion. That's very Shotter Avaladze, Grant McCann era of us. But it doesn't lead to anything. Delap almost reached it, but Jake Eastwood got there before him. Cox to Seri. Cox brought down by Harry Clifton for a free kick. From right on the far side touchline, about level with the penalty spot, I would say. George Cox he's in a bit of discomfort trying to run it off now. Who is the better team? Says Ronnie, who's a Grimsby fan. Quite even. Grimsby probably started off the better, then Hull City came into it in the second half, in the second part of that first quarter. Seri with the ball in. A hell of a lot of pace on that ball, but Jake Eastwood claims it. The under-21s is still 0-0 at the moment, in case you're wondering. They're away at Scarborough Athletic today. Ingram pops the ball at feet and launches the ball long towards Oscar, who just inside Hull City's half heads to Coyle. He finds Slater, who loses out and then deflects the ball out for a throw-in. And now the under-21s are 1-0 down to Scarborough Athletic in the Jeff Barmby Memorial fixture. Syed Manesh tries to shoot from a weird angle, testing Eastwood maybe, and he responds to that challenge very well, does the former Sheffield United goalkeeper. Ingram inside his 6-yard box, looks for Harry Vaughan in behind. Referee stops play as Aliyah Sayadmanesh is down holding his shin. Ooh. Not another injury to Ali, please. He's grimacing, checking his shin pad. Shin pad is now off now. And Physio Al comes on to have a look at him. Ooh, goes in for a 50-50 and Kuri just catches him on the lower shin. Ooh. That looks a bit of a painful one. As George Cox is having a word with Liam Rossignol. Alayar pulls up his socks and should be off and fine at the moment now. He's back on his feet. The very, very small shin pads that Alayar has got on. That is worth noting. Yeah, that's weird. Weird, that one, Ali. I don't quite get the small shin pad craze myself, but all power to him. If it works for Alayar, then hey, I'm not complaining. I am not going to complain at all. Rose pulls the ball back into the area. Conte has to wriggle out of a tight spot. He loses possession and Harry Vaughan will come away with it. Ooh! It's unpleasant by Malarkey. Free kick given. Just about to cross the 5-minute mark into this second quarter. Still feels weird saying that. Oscar Estupinian wins the header. Referee gives a free kick for handball. Cox to McLaughlin. Ingram, Seri, McLaughlin, that triangle play. Cox looking for Oscar, who loses out to Mayer in the air. Grimsby send it long. Andy Smith chest down for Sean McLaughlin, who turns his man really nicely. And Seri, ooh, play advantage lit by Conte, I think that was. Has he pulled it back for a free kick? Yes, he has. Referee has pulled it back for a free kick there. That was a very, very late challenge on Jean-Michel Seri there. Syed Manesh loses possession. Rose into Clifton. Clifton driving forward now. Has Malarkey on the overlap. Great tackle by Cox. And it's out for a throw-in. Which Malarkey will take. Is that a foul on the edge of the box by Seri on Conte? No, it's not. Seri under pressure. Referee definitely trying to let the game flow. Coyle now in the shade on this near side. So, little change. Isa, who was on the left, is now central, and Vernham, who was now central, is now on Grimsby's left. Glennon to Vernham, tackled by Alayar Syed Manesh. Avi Rogers beats Delap finds Malarkey into Curry, into Isa. Seri with the foul, and that is a free kick in a very, very dangerous position in favour of Grimsby Town. Is that going to be Glennon to take it? Yes, it is. Hull City should be thrashing Grimsby, Robert. It's pre-season, the results don't matter. Who's been good? It's not really about... to be fair, the Trialist has impressed me. Vaughan's had a little bit to go off. Just careful, right? Free kick, Glennon over the top. The Trialist has impressed me. Smith and McLaughlin have done well. Seri looking a little bit sluggish at times in the midfield, but also looking very alert at times as well. Other than that, not really too much to say. Des signings will come, and Adjun's focus on Shelburne, it doesn't cause stress for both each. It's just the way negotiations are working on our side. Adjun is simply funding both clubs, and it's the recruitment teams of those clubs and who they're trying to negotiate with for signings that are responsible for it, not necessarily Adjun. Let off for City there. As I was just talking about what I was just talking about. Half time for the under-21s, 1-0 down to Scarborough Athletic. Ball in by Glennon, claimed by Ingram. Out very well. Who, with some quick distribution, finds Slater, who looks to beat Conte. Foul given by the referee just outside the centre circle. No expansion in the works at the moment. The training complex, they're still discussing that. There are distant plans for expansion if we get where we want to go, which I'm sure the council would talk with Adjun about. They're his ambitions. They're not concrete plans as of yet. How come I'm not at Grimsby? Saving my money, mate. Saving my money. I'll pay a quid less and watch it on here. What's next up then? Where are we? I think we'll be top half in the Championship this season. Wow, there's a bundle of bodies there. My Lord. City come away with it, though. Seri into McLaughlin. Delap beats Conte. Finds Harry Vaughan, who, under pressure, goes back to Cox. McLaughlin now. Cox. Into Ingram. McLaughlin again. Greaves to Roma is rumoured. I don't think there's anything too concrete in that yet, though. Tan Kessler confirmed yesterday that no bids have been made. Sloppy pass by Seri and McLaughlin. Well, by Seri towards McLaughlin, who just wasn't focused, and ball out for a throw-in. Trialist has done well, Matthew. Yes, Trialist has done well. 8 minutes left of this second quarter before a 15-minute half-time. Ball in by Grimsby, headed clear by McLaughlin. Oscar gets it under control. With a load of bodies around him, he has to go back to Cox, and that's a poor pass by Slater, who gets lucky as he intercepts the pass straight back towards him. And, Alayar, come on. Or was Alayar offside there? I don't know, couldn't really tell, but ball out for a throw-in again. Sloppy. Sloppy is the way I'd describe this at the moment. Vaughan pressuring Malarkey. Goes back to Rogers, who launches the ball long towards Isa, but he's beaten by McLaughlin in the air. Seri to Slater. Back to Seri. Andy Smith to Louis Coyle now. And the skipper finds Syed Manesh, who looks to get the better of Glennon, who puts his body in the way. Syed Manesh does very well to get past him, who has to go back to Louis Coyle. Goes back to Andy Smith, all the way back to McLaughlin now. Back over the halfway line to the Trialist. Oh, no, that's not the Trialist. That's Harry Vaughan. He was once a trialist, though, with the under-21s. That's a foul. Foul on Harry Vaughan there. Free kick given by the referee. There have been a lot of very hard tackles in this. Well, you know what they say, there's no such thing as a friendly, eh? No such thing as a friendly. Harry Vaughan getting his name sung, you can hear in the background. Very lovely. And Seri will take this particular free kick. Seri with the free kick. It's a looping ball in, claimed by Eastwood again. Set pieces have been poor today. That's something to work on. Liam will make wholesale changes at half-time. I'm more or less sure of it. Harry Vaughan to Liam Delap. Delap, can he work shooting space? He's in the box. Lays it off to Slater, who tries to go to the outside of his foot, and that doesn't end well at all. That's an awful shot. And you can tell, even though, you know, it was a couple of years ago and it's only a friendly, Slater with his Scunthorpe United loan spell, he gets a frosty reception and goaded by the Grimsby fans after that. That was a terrible effort. Why didn't he just put his foot through it? He tried to go to the outside, didn't work at all. McLaughlin header flicked on by Curry for Grimsby to Glennon, who launches long to Cox. Can Seri win it from Isa? Yes, he can. Estupinian, one of the two strikers, seems to be dropping deep. He's tackled, though, by Conte. Really well done. Clifton beats Seri. Back to Conte. Glennon into Vernon. His pass looking for Isa is intercepted by Andy Smith. Estupinian fouled. Quick free kick taken by City. Seri spreads the play to Cox on the left-hand side. And Cox lays it off to Vaughan, who plays it back to George Cox on the underlap. Looking to put a ball in towards the lap, but his cross is deflected out for a throw-in. Someone here says Jacob Greaves is in the away end. Does that mean something? Does that injury perhaps? Don't know. I'm sure Liam Rossini will answer those questions later on. Delap with a great interception there. Andy Smith to Regan Slater. Estupinian off to Delap. Delap, he's got options left and right. Shot is deflected behind for a corner. He had Slater to his left, Oscar to his right. He went alone and the ball deflected out for a corner. That's what we've been looking for, though. Oscar and Delap getting the ball off to each other. Struck the shin of Maha, however you pronounce it. And that is out for a Hull City corner. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Not 1 minute and 10 seconds. 3 minutes. Now, 3 minutes left. I think. Is it 3 minutes? I can't count. What am I on about here? My God. My head is gone today. "13 minutes left is what I was trying to say. But hey, oh my God, I've just seen the second half team for the under-21s. It's Trialist C in goal, back four of Kyle Fanning, Trialist A, Trialist B and Nathan Tinsdale. Midfield is Jake Brown, Trialist D, E and F, with Trialist G and Trialist H up top. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Oh my word. Wow. That is ridiculous. Smith launches it long, headed clear by Mayer. Coyle heads to Delap, who's... Oh, is he... What? Well, I don't even know what to... There was just a load of bodies around Delap, and he ended up on the floor appealing for a free kick, which he didn't get. Delap been brought down by Mayer. I thought he got the ball there, Niall Mayer. Delap not happy with that. And the referee takes Liam Delap's side. Coyle with that free kick finds Smith. McLaughlin into Delap, who loses the ball. Oscar fouls Conte. No, that's not Conte, that's Asa. Thank you. I was trusting James Fletcher there. It was, in fact, Mo Asa. And that is a Grimsby free kick. "20 minutes gone of this quarter. Chance for Grimsby. Clifton appeals for a corner from that effort and gets one. Glennon going over to take that corner on the far side. Robert Ward says Leeds going up. I don't think Leeds will go up. They're in a mess. Danny Rose met that corner very well. Rose higher than anyone else, but header dribbled just wide of that post to Ingram's right-hand side. Clips the side netting on its way behind. Which three teams will go down? QPR, Rotherham, Cardiff. QPR, I think, definitely will. Cardiff are an interesting one. Rotherham, not sure. They don't look anything particularly special. How you doing, Ben? Ben, all right, mate? Quick free kick taken by Grimsby. McLaughlin with the header. It falls to a Grimsby man, though, and they recover possession nicely. Rogers finds Clifton, who's pressuring Harry Vaughan, who is eventually fouled by Harry Clifton. And a free kick, which Sean McLaughlin will take. Finds Seri to Andy Smith. Back to McLaughlin in more or less the same position that he took the free kick from. He goes back to Seri. McLaughlin, quick 1-2. All the way back to Ingram now on the edge of the D. Stops the ball dead. Sends the ball long towards Oscar Estupinian, who heads to Seri. Good bit of play between Delap and Seri as Seri stops the ball on halfway. George Cox to McLaughlin. Into Cox again. McLaughlin. Ingram. We're struggling a bit here, aren't we? I just think we sort of look as though without Tufan or Traore in the midfield, we lack any real creativity. Slater looking for Syed Manesh over the top. He's got the better of Glennon for the time being. Has to go to Louis Coyle as he got two bodies around him. Back to Syed Manesh. Finds Seri. into Syed Manesh again. Seri, McLaughlin. Ball through. Delap finds the trialist. Oh, beautiful. Very nice indeed. Great ball through by McLaughlin to George Cox, who pulled it back to Estupinian, who just flicked it on to Regan Slater at the back post. Oh, Delap, great dummy. Diverted by Oscar with his shin into Slater at the back post. Gives a little fist bump to the fans, the Hull City fans behind the goal. And that is 1-0 to Hull City. Lovely, lovely little ball by McLaughlin. Not quite sure if it was just dummied by Delap or whether it was flicked on, but whatever, it was really well worked, and 50 grand puts us 1-0 up. Five and a half minutes left of this second quarter before we reach a 15-minute half-time interval. Harvey Rogers looks for Malarkey, whose touch means he loses the ball to Harry Vaughan, who finds Seri. Cox now looking back through for Vaughan, running in behind. Deflected and blocked out for a throw-in though by Malarkey. McLaughlin into Ingram, who beats Rose with a lovely little turn before finding Seri. Andy Smith looking in for Slater, but his pass is intercepted. Tough tackling by Slater, wins the ball back. Seri and Isa in a 50-50, then Isa and Smith in a 50-50, which Hull City come away second best. Vernon with a ball across the face of goal. Vaughan fouled as he's coming away with the ball. Seri stops the ball for a quick free kick, but Conte stands in front of him, which means he can't take it quickly. McLaughlin taking his time taking this free kick. In the end, it just goes back to Matt Ingram. That was difficult, wasn't it? Ingram with a floated ball forward towards Estupinian, who gets the ball down. Delap struggling to get it under control. He's tackled by Harvey Rogers. He didn't manage to get through there, did Liam Delap. And it's out for a throw-in to Grimsby, which Glennon takes just inside Hull City's half. He throws it back over halfway to Niall Mayer. Over to Harvey Rogers, who looks to put the ball forward, looking for Rose, but McLaughlin cuts it out and goes back to Ingram. Oh, that's risky. There's a lot of Grimsby bodies around the edge of the penalty area there. Slater, puts caution to the wind and just kicks the ball out of play for a throw-in on the far side. Harvey Rogers finds Isa. Malarkey with the ball in. Put behind for a corner by George Cox, the trialist. Which Glennon is running over to take promptly. God, that corner flag is waving about violently in the wind. Ball in by Glennon. It's deep and it's claimed by Ingram well, who falls to the floor to smother the ball before getting up very quickly, looking for a quick ball. Long doesn't find one, so rolls it out to McLaughlin. There is Cox now. Back to McLaughlin. Throw in City's way, which George Cox is going to take. Looking for Vaughan, who loses out in the air to Harvey Rogers. Ball falls to Conte. Malarkey now. Into Mayer. Back to Eastwood, who on the edge of his penalty area launches the ball forward. Ball bounces. Coyle watches that bounce very carefully and wins the header. And that finds Seri, who goes to Syed Manesh, who just stops the ball for Louis Coyle inside Hull City territory. He finds Seri, and now it's Andy Smith. Ingram. Seri. McLaughlin. Last 30 or 40 seconds now of this quarter. Ball out for a throw-in. Throw-in by Malarkey. Eastwood sends the ball long. Smith with the header. It hits Conte in the face before deflecting to Danny Rose. Lifted the ball into the area now by Rose. And Smith chests the ball back to Ingram. And that is half time at Blundell Park. Another 2 quarters to go. And that is... Oh, I'm tired after that. I don't know why. That is half time. Grimsby Town 0. Hull City 1. And these guys, it's it for all of them because they're having a little handshake at the end. Harvey Rogers shaking hands with Louis Coyle. Shaking hands with all the referees as well. These guys, well, we'll go for a shower now, I'd assume. And we will see the second half lineups in a little while. But for now, I'm going to have a little break of my own, and the stream will resume shortly while I go have a drink, get something to eat, go to the toilet, that sort of thing. I will see you very, very shortly, and I will be back before the start of the second half. Okay, we are back for the second half. Alfie Jones wearing the captain's armband for City. I will take you through the changes to each side. Wholesale changes for both teams. So for Hull City, it's Timothy Lotatala in goal. The back four is Cyrus Christie, Alfie Jones, Alfie Taylor and Brandon Fleming, with the midfield three being Ryan Woods, Xavier Simons and Ozan Tufan. Longman and Jarvis are the wide players with Benjamin Tete up top. Grimsby's team in squad number order looks like this. Harvey Cartwright in goal, Michael Afete, Kieran Green, Luke Waterfall, Gavin Houlihan, Otis Khan, Jamie Bramwell, Alex Hunt, Danny Amos, Aaron Braithwaite and Donovan Wilson. That is, well, them's the teams. Harvey Cartwright actually playing a game of football. Very nice. Very nice. Very pleased about that. All right. Let's get stuck into this second half then. Or as it's otherwise known, apologies, third quarter. I won't be around for the fourth one, sadly, because, well, life. Because this wasn't planned, I couldn't plan other things around it and arrange for my tea to be later. And I'm not eating on stream because that's weird. So it will only be a 3/4 of the game watch along. Alfie Taylor launching the ball forward towards Will Jarvis. He tries to get around his mate Harvey Cartwright, who does very well quickly out. Harvey Cartwright wearing the number 1 shirt for Grimsby. Great ball. Over the top. Bounce got the better of Luke Waterfall. Will Jarvis there tries to get round Harvey Cartwright, who was out very quickly indeed. Very, very well done by Harvey Cartwright. It's what we love to see. Don't quite know what's happened there, but Alfie Jones missed a ball going over his head. Lotatala has the ball now in his penalty box. Finds Alfie Taylor wearing the number 31 today, which has been above Vaughan Colville here in training so far. So, and Alfie Taylor has been wearing the number 45 when I've seen it. So if any of that changes, who knows? Tufan looking to slip through Longman, who could be in here. Doesn't have the strength to outmuscle whichever Grimsby player that was. I can't really see who it was. Woods has the ball. Xavier Simons now to Alfie Taylor into Alfie Jones. A double pivot system being played by Liam Rossini with Simons and Woods on the pitch at the same time. Tete. That's somehow a free kick against Tete, which doesn't make sense to me at all when he was bundled over first. But hey, whatever. Whatever, I suppose. Grimsby coming forward. Not sure who took the shot, but it went wide and it turns out it's been deflected behind for a corner. Kieran Green taking the shot, I've been reliably informed. Thank you very much, James Fletcher in my ear. We've cleared the corner sort of, and we're coming away with it now. Tufan looking to slip through Longman. He finds City's number 16. Has to go back to Cyrus Christie, who's under pressure, brought down, and that is a free kick Hull City's way. Alfie Taylor. Back to Timothy Lottatala. Hopefully his distribution. Playing against a League Two team where a division he was in briefly at the back end of last season with Stevenage is a little bit better. He finds Tete, who brings the ball down very nicely to Tufan. Longman now whips a ball in. It's across the face of goal. Can Jarvis get there on the other side of the pitch to keep it in? Yes, he can. Green unsuccessful in trying to deflect the ball off Jarvis and out for a Grimsby ball. Turns out it's a corner as Jarvis recovered the ball and it deflected off Afete for that outcome. Very pleased we've got 2 hours of football. Love it. Plus, we'll grab more pictures as well, which I can use for graphics. Thank you very much for that. Corner was wasted, and it's in fact now going to go all the way back to Timothy Lottatala, courtesy of Brandon Fleming. Lottatala just backpedaling slightly, trying to draw Grimsby out a little bit, perhaps, before he sends the ball long up towards Tete, who is going to win everything in the air because, well, he's 6'6". His control let him down, though, and Grimsby come away with the ball. Waterfall on the ball. Already looking at these first 5 minutes of this second half of the game, I do think we look a better team with someone like Tufan in it, with a creative midfielder. But although with Traore absent, the 2 up top might just be a temporary solution for Liam Rosenior while there is no Adama Traore. I'm sure we'll get an update on that after the game when he speaks to Matt Dean from the BBC and to Baz Cooper as well. Woods looking for Jarvis, finds him, his touch lets him down though, and that allows Afete to pass the ball back to Cartwright, who does very well when being pressed by both Tufan and Cartwright, and Grimsby get the ball clear. Lottatala, Alfie Taylor. Oh, I've left the banner on, haven't I? 1-0. 1-0, Rich. Sorry, thank you for reminding me. Jones into Tete, dropping deep. Simons, Cyrus Christie. Still Christie trying to do the old kick the ball against him and go out for a throw in. I believe that's against Otis Khan. Didn't really work. And Grimsby have a free kick in what is a very dangerous position. So they've got Otis Khan on that left-hand side. I'm still trying to work out how Grimsby are lining up. To be honest, it's hard to tell on the stream. It's a poor free kick whipped in by Otis Khan. But the ball goes back out to Khan, who's been pressed by Longman. Ball slipped through by, I think that's Amos to Khan, but that goes out. That went out before Grimsby had the chance to put the ball back in the box. Yet more confirmation that Jacob Greaves is in the away end at Blundell Park. Christie, Simons, back to Alfie Jones. Lottatala and Woods play a 1-2. Lottatala finds Tufan, who goes back to Alfie Jones. Risky game we're playing here. Tete loses out the 50-50 on the floor and actually ends up on the ground, and he's staying down as well as Benjamin Tete. The referee pulls it back. Tete doesn't look very comfortable here at all. The last thing we need is another Benjamin Tete injury, but then this sort of thing happening does show why maybe another Aaron Connolly signing, which is meant to be happening, is necessary, because, well, stuff like this can happen. We had it last season. We had 3 strikers and our academy top scorer injured all at once, and we played the last couple of games of the season without a fit senior striker, but without any fit strikers. So these things do happen, and it's good that Rosinha is investing in backup. Ozan Tufan keeping a check over his teammate as they pan to the bench now and see Ingram, Smith, Vaughan, Ali, Coyle, all showered. Vaughan Colville, though, sat there totally unused. That will be disappointing for him. Benjamin Tete getting up off the ground now, helped up by Ozan Tufan. Looks as though he was holding his ankle a little bit. By the way, he's just been testing his right ankle out. Just walking across the pitch, though, he looks okay. Drop ball for Grimsby, and they just get play going, passing it back to Luke Waterfall from where they started. Afete back to someone who I can't see because they're in the shade. Lovely. Great tackle by Brandon Fleming. Another thing to note as well, no Greg Doherty. Excuse me. Lottatala claims the ball there as I was just yawning. Alfie Jones back to Lottatala. Christie wins the ball in the air, out for a throw-in though. Apologies if I'm a little bit unfocused at the moment. I am just trying to find out a bit more about the Greg Doherty absence and Greaves absence if I can. I don't expect to find out much though. Afete coming forward. Yeah, so right, I'm still trying to work out their team. He had Braithwaite with him down that right hand side. So then there's Kieran Green in the midfield. Good tackle by Simons. It's hard to narrate what's going on here because I don't know. I can't work out who the players are. I can't see the numbers. Hull City have the ball back now, so you'll get a bit more narration. Simons wins the ball back, and Woods goes to Taylor, who gets it straight on to Alfie Jones, who stops the ball dead and finds Cyrus Christie looking for a long ball towards Ryan Longman. It's a number 20-something. 22 is Amos at left back. Still trying to work all these out. If there are any Grimsby fans, if Ronnie, I know you're a Grimsby fan still in chat, please do enlighten me. Ball hoisted long. And then there's Donovan Wilson up front. Ooh, that's got away from Green there. Tufan. Simons plays a 1-2 with Woods. Simons spreads it to Longman now. Into Christie. Woods. All Grimsby players are behind the ball now, bar one, making it difficult for us to find a way through. We've had to go all the way back to Lottatala there. Under 21s are now losing 2-1 to Scarborough. Ronnie, can you help us, work out which of your players are playing where, please? Because I can't really see the numbers and it's quite difficult to pick out. I think I've seen Houlihan there. Tufan. Charging forward, slips through Tete, who touches it past Cartwright, lays it off to Longman, who's wide. Longman should have done better with that. Tete did really well to get it past Cartwright. The ball fell nicely for Longman as Tete got brought down by Cartwright. But Longman just put it wide. Longman will be gutted with that, and rightly so. That should be 2-0. Okay, so Ronnie, you're saying you've got Afete right back, centre back Waterfall, and dangerous game by City there as Otis Khan put it just wide. Bit of a miscommunication there, I think, between Taylor, Lottatala. That could have ended a lot worse than it did. Smith, you've got Afete, Green, Waterfall, Houlihan, Khan, Bramwell, Hunt, Amos, Braithwaite and Wilson to choose from. There's no Smith. No. Right, Ronnie, this might help you. That was on the stream graphic at half time. So all who played the first half for both teams have been subbed off. See what you can do with that, Ronnie. Help me out. Corner Hull City's way. Woods is going to take this corner. Ball in towards Jones, who wins the header. Tete brings the ball down, goes back out to Woods. Woods to Christie. Simons now, ball in the middle. Tete! Straight at Cartwright. About 10 minutes left of this quarter, and that will be the end of this watch along, because like I say, this was not planned. This is very much a spontaneous stream. So, right then. So, Otis Carnes on the left. It's turning out here, even though you've said right, he's been on the left-hand side. Wilson's up front. Hunt in centre mid. Green CDM. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 more to fill. I'm just left with Hunt and Bramwell, who I need to place. I think Hunt is... No, I've placed Hunt, haven't I? So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, no, it's just Bramwell. So Bramwell is going to be in at centre half then. Thank you for your help, Ronnie. Much appreciated. Khan with a diagonal ball over to Braithwaite, into Gavin Houlihan, formerly of the Hull City Academy. Ashley, glad you enjoyed that video last night. It was, well, it's not done as well as I hoped it would, I'll be honest. Yeah, Branwell is centre back. Thank you. Ball through to Timothy Lottatala. He'll go short to Alfie Taylor. Waterfall, back to Cartwright, who's come out of his box, goes to Branwell, back to Cartwright, well inside his area now. He finds Waterfall. He finds Houlihan, who looks to get it off to Afete, but it just goes out for a throw-in to Hull City there. Fleming. Tete. Back to Fleming, straight from the throw-in. Goes back to Alfie Taylor. Finds Ryan Woods in the midfield, who has been outstanding in pre-season so far. It's a great ball to Ryan Longman, if he can get there to keep it in, which he can. Goes back to Cyrus Christie. Ball in the middle, cut out by Branwell. It's going to bounce back to Longman on the touchline. He's got Otis Khan to beat. Goes back to Christie. Woods. Tufan flicked on to Christie. Ball falls to Tete, just wide. Cartwright was scrambling for that, but it dribbled just wide of the post to his right-hand side. We could have had 2 in this half. Granted, Longman's chance was a lot easier than Benjamin Tete's chance just then, as he took it on the turn with his weaker foot. It's worth noting as well that Harvey Cartwright was with this squad until, well, when they were in Turkey. He joined up with Grimsby on Thursday. Ball in by, I think that was Braithwaite towards Wilson. And it was headed over the bar by Donovan Wilson. The under-21s were defeated 2-1 in their second pre-season fixture. A series of 2-1 defeats in pre-season for the under-21s at the moment. Trialist B was the goal scorer in that game. Ooh, that was a clip on Ozan Tufan there by Green. Waterfall checks on Tufan, and then he's going to plead his case with the referee. There isn't much of a case to plead, though. Grimsby's skipper, well, should be aware of that because, well, Green went straight through the back of Tufan and clipped him on the ankle. Ooh, that was not pleasant at all. It wasn't Green, sorry. It was Waterfall making the tackle. Now I see it on closer inspection. Tufan's up, and they're communicating with each other, seeming good spirits. It is only pre-season. After all, for the pair, Alfie Jones will take the free kick then, just inside Hull City's half. Alfie Taylor back to Lottatala, who's come quite far out of his area. Confirmation from someone I know who is relatively close with Jacob Greaves that it's an injury-related absence, not a transfer. Longman finds Tete into Tufan. Great interception by Waterfall, though. And with 4 minutes to go of this third quarter, the first quarter of this second half, we've looked the better team. Grimsby haven't really had that much to go off so far. Cartwright looking to find Otis Khan with a long ball. Cut out by Cyrus Christie, going back to Timothy Lottatala, who's dribbling around his box under no pressure at all. Is Hull City's number 32. Spent time this summer at the Under-20 World Cup with France. Launches the ball up towards Benjamin Tete, who wins the ball in the air. Tufan wins the second. Tete wins the third. And Simons brings it down. Christie. Taylor. Looking through for Will Jarvis. Cartwright's out of his area and heads clear. Only bounces as far as Brandon Fleming, who is barged over, and the referee waves play on in Grimsby's favour as they come forward. Donovan Wilson can't beat Alfie Jones to the ball, who puts the ball out for a throw-in with his left boot. And Afete is coming forward to take the ball, to throw the ball back in play. After a little passage of play in a tight spot from Grimsby, it goes back to Waterfall, who goes over to Branwell. Green with a misplaced pass intercepted by Christie. Longman gets the ball from Christie and lays it straight back off. Woods. Jones in the centre circle. Back into Hull City territory for Taylor. Tufan. Out wide to Will Jarvis, who's got Brandon Fleming on the overlap. Jarvis cuts inside and finds Ryan Woods, who looks through for Tufan, who thought he could let the ball run to Tete, but Tete was in fact on the other side of him. And we did lose the ball there. Woods, with a little bit of shithousery in the pre-season friendly, pretending the ball was stuck under his foot there. Waterfall is dirty, by the way, says Ronnie. I'm not surprised. Woods coming forward. He's got space as Ryan Woods. Looks for Tete. He tries to flick it past Branwell, doesn't quite come off, and there's a foul on Gavin Houlihan, and there's a free kick in the last minute and a half of this third quarter. Still feels weird saying that. Cartwright will take this free kick then. From a good 10 or 15 yards outside his area, he launches it up towards Wilson, who plays a bit of a 1-2 with Houlihan, who eventually loses the ball, and Alfie Jones sees it through to Timothy Lotatala. Plays a bit of football with Alfie Taylor before finding Woods, who goes straight back to Lotatala. Woods with a bit of a sloppy pass to Alfie Jones, but Jones manages to let the ball deflect off Otis Khan before it goes out for a throw-in, which Cyrus Christie is going to take now in the last couple of seconds of this quarter and the last couple of seconds of this watch-along stream as well. This was a spontaneous one, and apologies I can't stay for the last half an hour after this quarter, but I do need to go now. Again, it was a spontaneous one, so I couldn't really plan stuff around it. I just shoehorned one in here because I felt like it. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Take care. And yeah, goodbye.